Hey, what up guys? If you've been following me on Instagram, you would know that I recently went on a trip to Maui, Hawaii, and I actually got to play some golf. So this is going to be like a mini series, 2 video series where firstly I play at a course called Kaanapali Royal, and then I got to play Kapalua Plantation course, which is also epic. So yeah, let's just head out to the course and see how I did at Kaanapali Royal. All right, first try of the day, and ended up testing the waters here literally and hitting as close to the water as possible without going in. So got pretty lucky, even though there's a huge fairway in front of me and a lot of fairway to the left. Next shot, I almost hit this palm tree here. Luckily, I missed it, even though it didn't go that far. I'm in the middle of the fairway. This next shot, unfortunately, I do end up going into the water. I hit a weak fade, and it's a lot closer to the green than I actually thought. There's water really close to the pin. So, took my drop, chipped onto the green, and now I have a not too long of a putt to save my bogey here. So, here is the bogey attempt. And yeah, greens were actually pretty quick today, and it was hard to read because of the grain and everything, and getting used to these types of greens was challenging, but start off with a double. All right, next up is a long par 3. The par 3s from the blue tees here at Kaanapali Royal do play a little long here, but yeah, I pulled this to the left.
That's where I am against this tree.
Yeah, and I'm against this stump, so just try to get it onto the green, doing the best I can. End up hitting it over, and so having to chip on here. And look at this, hit it off the green, starts rolling on, and it goes way past the hole. So pretty quick greens all day. Here's my bogey attempt, and I missed that. So 2 doubles on the row to start off. Got a lot of work to do. All right, next up, just hit a blistering drive down the middle. No complaints here. And yeah, I need to start picking it up because I started double-double for the day. So here's my approach shot. Just a little pitching wedge onto the green. And yeah, so starting off with the green regulation on the 3rd hole, no complaints. Need to work on these shots, but hey, all I want to do is get on the green and try to get a par. So here's my birdie attempt. As you can see, didn't make the birdie, but made the par. So battling my way back here. Next up is a medium length par 4, but I ended up popping my driver up and barely getting over this tree and being short of this trap that you can see in the middle of your screen. And so I have a decent length approach into the green for my second shot. Take my pitching wedge and get it up there. And luckily, I didn't roll backwards. So I'm just short of the green. And here's my putt. And check this out, guys. Celebrations all around. So yeah, after starting double-double, I go par birdie and starting to knock down that score. So this hole, I hit a really good drive. And I wanted to clear that sand trap on the left. End up hitting it about 250 with a little bit of wind, and I hit right into the trap, and it rolls back. Next one, I'm just trying to get it out of the bunker and playing my next shot on because it was a tough sand shot. And here's my attempt and my approach into the green. And there it is. So a little short, playing from off the fringe, and here's my par putt. And yeah, don't make the par. But here's a testing one for my bogey. Yeah, and I miss it. So, yeah, lots of doubles already. 3 doubles, a par, and a birdie to start off my round. All right, another good drive on this hole. Goes up to the right-hand side, just short of the traps that you can see on your screen on the right side of the fairway. And yeah, I'm feeling pretty good with the driver today. Next up, I hit my 3-wood, and I hit it pretty good, a little low under that tree on the right-hand side. And I thought I almost got it onto the green, but it ends up being a little bit short. And yeah, this is just disappointment all around. Just chunked a chip, you know, got a little bit into my head and had some yips on that one. And then I had to putt over this crest. Yeah, I ended up putting myself in a long position for par. And it just lips out. So unfortunately, I had a good chance to get birdie, chunked my chip, and up with bogey. So this is a very short par 4. Took out my drive, hit it up the middle, and I'm looking good for my second shot. Here's the second shot. It's just an uphill sand wedge that I hit, and it looked pretty good. And yeah, I'm just on the side of the pin here, side hill lie. Here's my birdie attempt. Yeah, and I barely miss it low side. So another par. Another long par 3. Kaanapali loves their long par 3s here, and I end up pulling this one into the sand trap onto the left-hand side. So I had to hit out of the trap for the first time. So here's my attempt. I end up hitting a pretty good shot, but it rolls out pretty hard and it ends up nestling up against the fringe for my next putt. So you're gonna have to trust me. So this is my par attempt and my camera falls over, but there's people waiting behind us, so I end up two putting for bogey. Next up is a long par 5 that I thought was actually a par 4. And so I'm thinking this was a really tough hole, but it was actually a shorter par 5. So mentally I made some different choices that I would not have otherwise. So I ended up taking my 3-wood here, thinking like, dang, this is a really tough hole. But actually it wasn't as tough as I thought, and I should have took an iron. So chipping up here, and yeah, there's my shot that goes onto the green. And me thinking, man, I'm just trying to get up and down for par here instead of being aggressive and going for my birdie. So long story short, check the par, guys, and make sure you're playing the right par in your mind mentally. So you're going to want to get your eye bleach out for this one, folks. This is going to be one wild ride. So first, I hit these trees on the left-hand side on the iconic 10th hole at Kaanapali Royal. I try to punch out to the right and make the smart move, and I end up going through the fairway. So think I'm invincible. I try to go through the gap, and I hit the tree that's dead in front of me, and look where the ball ends up.
Oh, nice try, Mateo.
So being defeated here, I just take my medicine, but I hit branches once again, so I am all over the place. Now I'm hitting a 9-iron to the green, which I cannot see. It's a blind shot, and I can't even see the flag, so I just muscle up a 9-iron from the rough. And at this point, I'm just like trying to eliminate any more blow-ups. So I just take my putter and put it on, and thinking, okay, that's makeable for me. And then here is my triple putt. Thank goodness I made this, or I could have gotten a quad here. But boy, that was bad. All right, this next drive, I end up popping it up and fading it out to the right. Don't hit it very far, and so this next shot, as you can see, I have a tree that's overhanging that I do not want to hit. So I take my 4-iron, play it low, and punch it through into the middle of the fairway, and check out this next shot. So they cut the fairways pretty thin here, so I just took out my putter, and check out this result. You're not going to believe this. Pretty crazy. So I end up getting a birdie from way out yonder, probably more than 50 feet. It was insane. So yeah, got a birdie. Next up, finally a shorter par 4. So I end up taking my 2-iron just to play position golf and hit it into the middle of the fairway, eliminating any trouble on either side. Here is my approach to the green. Unfortunately, I end up hitting this past the hole, and I have to chip on. So like I said earlier, the greens here are pretty fast. So not only was it a bad chip, but it rolled out pretty far. So here's just to make up for my par. Kind of scared about the speed of the greens. Barely tapped it and goes past the hole, but pick up my bogey here. So I hit a pretty good drive on this one. Ended up being perfectly in the middle of the fairway. No complaints, just 242 yards uphill. I'll take it. So this next shot, hit an 8-iron into the green, and unfortunately I hit it way over into the left. So I'm on the green, but I have a crazy long putt with these really fast greens. So here's the putt. It's going to be breaking towards the ocean. Barely tap this, goes down the first tier, and look at this go.
Oh my gosh.
It just keeps rolling. So yeah, I rolled a good 10 feet past, and here's my next putt. And yeah, I just don't hit it hard enough. So unfortunately a 3-putt, even though I was on the green in regulation. Alright, here comes my drive, and I pop it up ever so slightly so it doesn't go all that far, but I'll take it because I'm in the fairway and I have no drama to deal with. So yeah, I'm playing from the fairway, no complaints. This next shot, unfortunately, I just hit it chunky. It's going to be right and short here because I hit it so fat. As you can see, the divot in the ground. And so here's my chip. And yeah, I just want to get onto the green and give myself a chance at it for par. Here's my par putt. Barely tapped that. Since it's breaking towards the ocean and probably with the grain, that's where the ball ends up. So yeah, trying to get used to the grain and everything, and the breaks of the greens, but it's tough out there. Alright, another par 3. End up taking my 5-wood here that I normally hit around 220 yards, but this was uphill with wind. So I end up carrying it in between the 2 bunkers, so I have grass at least for my chip. So here's my chip. And yeah, all day these greens were pretty tough, so if you can get close on your chips and eliminate having to deal with long putts, you're probably going to end up with a decent score. So yeah, this is the par, and I'll take that. So for this shot, there's a rock that's in the middle of the fairway that I hit directly towards. And you'll see me grab my back here because I was getting a little tired and a little cramped up because of how humid it was. Make sure you bring a ton of liquid when you come to this course. So this 5-iron, I absolutely pured it, and I'm being super close onto the green. And look at this birdie putt attempt. And unfortunately, yeah, just leave it a hair short. So bummer that I made par, but I'll take it. All right, here's my first shot, and I say that with emphasis because it goes into this bank short of the flag, and it's basically unfindable because it's kind of like fescue right there. And so I hit another one, and I just end up clubbing up here and should have done that in the first place to be safe. So unfortunately, I'm just putting for my bogey from this far away. Played quite a bit of break there, and yeah, just don't clean it up for my bogey. So end up getting a double here, unfortunately, because I hit it into the water and I couldn't find my ball. So double bogey. All right, this is the last hole of the day, and there's water trouble on the right, so I do everything in my power to miss it and pull hook it to the left. Luckily, this fairway is very, very wide, but I just have a long shot into the green now. This next shot, I end up hooking a low 3-wood to the green, and I'm actually in a pretty good position to get up and down for my par, even though I had such a crazy sporadic first shot off the tee. So here's the chip, and yeah, as you can see, end up putting myself in a good position. So like I said, if you can get close on your up and downs and not deal with the grain and the putting, you're gonna have a good day here. Overall, 14 over, not bad. Alright, as you can see, except for that triple blow up hole, I actually was playing okay. I had some great putts out there, and overall the game was feeling pretty solid. I started getting pretty fatigued towards the end because the humidity was crazy and there's no wind, so it was really hot. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that one. More to come, and I'll see you in the next one.